Hi everyone, so this is my next album. This is all about our 3-day trip to Inverness up in Scotland. We went in June and we went by train and it took 6 hours, but it was really good and we really enjoyed it. So this is just a 6x6 album from Hobbycraft. I know I said I wasn't going to use them anymore, but I had one left over, so I thought I'd just use it and you know, it was good for little trips and whatnot, but I prefer not to use this size anymore. So the cover literally is just a picture of a Highland cow that I've just printed off. It's got some washi tape and then some alpha stickers. I need to find a decent 2 to go here because I've got another album, obviously from when I went to Edinburgh, but I couldn't fit any more in there. So I've decided to do another album and do it part 2, but I just need to find a nice 2 to go there, so that's why that's missing. So on just this page here, because I'm hoping to use this album for another trip to Scotland, I've just put a map of this part of Scotland that we went to, and then when I go through to another part I'll put a map of that part that we go to, if that makes any sense. But I've just put like a little arrow just where Inverness is up here, and this just came from like a tourist magazine that we picked up whilst we were there. So this is just about our journey. This paper came from, I think it was from Poundland. It's just like a nature sort of one, which I thought went really well because the scenery up in Inverness is amazing and I want it to be more like neutral sort of colours. So these are just our tickets that we went up by train, and then this was the sign that was on the train that just had all our stops. We got on at York and we did the whole journey up to Inverness. And it's nice because the actual train itself, because it only goes once a day, it's called the Highland Chieftain. So it had its own little name. And then this is Joe just watching his films and looking out the window on the train. These little stickers, I've used them throughout. I actually got them from Poundland in Inverness. They're just little like seasonal stickers about the weather and stuff like that, so I just thought they were cute. And I've used 2 different washi tapes. I've got these little mice ones, which I thought were really, really cute. I didn't know when I was going to use them, but I thought they went quite well with this album. They came from Paper Chase, and as did this blue and white stripy one as well, which came in another pack. So these are just some pictures of the views that we had when we were watching out the window on the train up. So both pages have got these little waterfall pictures just of the train journey. It was really, really pretty. And then each photo sort of tab I've put like a little sticker. I got these stickers from a souvenir shop in Inverness itself, so I thought they went really well. So this is our hotel. We stayed at a really nice sort of guest house called the Coos. It was all white and yellow themed, which was really cute. It was a really nice place. It was owned by a lovely family, and each room, they didn't have many rooms, but each room had their own name. We stayed in the John O'Groats room. This was our room here, and then this was a cute little dog that when we looked out our window, he was always down outside looking at, sitting outside and looking into their kitchen, so he was nice. And then this is just a sign of our hotel, and then that's just their business card there. So the first thing we did was just wander around in the town of Inverness. You can actually do the Ness walk, which is just walking along the River Ness, and it's really, really nice. We actually did it a couple of times because it was just a straight sort of flat walk to do, and because the weather was so nice, we took advantage of being outside. So this is just some pictures of when we were walking along, and again these are the little stickers that came from Poundland that I thought went quite well. We stopped on our walk along the river. You can actually go down onto the riverbed sort of thing, and we picked up some stones to bring back and put in our flower pots. And we just watched all the fishermen. They were out in the river fishing, I guess, for salmon. I think that's what they fish there. But yeah. And then we crossed this lovely bridge across, because it's like the Ness Islands. There's like little islands that are connected by bridges, so it was nice to cross them, and it was really quiet. It wasn't busy at all. I thought it'd be really, really busy, but it was quite pleasant just to walk along. And then we sat down on a little bench at the end of the islands and just watched out at the scenery. And it's nice just to spend time with each other and just enjoy being outside. You know, it can get really easy when you're working full time just to come home and sit on the sofa in front of TV. But it's nice to make time for each other and actually, you know, not use your phones and stuff and go and sit outside. Here's some more pictures of just us sitting. And then once we did the loop of the River Ness, we actually walked directly into the town centre. We was only staying about 5 minutes out, so we were really central. But this is just a map of Inverness centre. And you know, I actually put on here, like, this is where our hotel was, and these are the little bits and pieces that we visited. Just little landmarks to remember. And then this is when we were out for dinner. We went to Revolutions in Inverness, so I just saved the card from there. Now, when we was actually walking from the train station when we first arrived, we were walking down to the street and going to find our hotel, and we bumped into these bagpipe players, and they were really nice to watch, because obviously it's very traditional to see the bagpipes being played, and I love their kilts, so we just spent a while just watching them as they walked down the street. And then I found that Inverness was quite quirky. Like they really had cool sort of signs everywhere, and you know, just a bit sort of tongue-in-cheek bits and pieces around the town. So I took some photos of some of their signs. And then this was a really, really cool tree. It's all like wavy and everything, so I thought it was different. We just walked past a nice church, and then I like this because we were just walking around and there's a little ginger cat outside the door, so I thought that was a nice little picture. And then this is Inverness Centre with the bridge that goes over. So this is us looking out when we're crossing the bridge, and then this is the bridge that goes over to the city centre. And then obviously this is just some receipts from what we bought, souvenir-wise. So this is the castle that sits on top of the hill. We only sat up there for about 5 minutes because we had just finished our walk and we wanted to go have some lunch, but we got some nice views of the town, overlooking the whole town from the top of the hill, and it was a really clear day, so it was really lovely. And this is where these stickers, I chose the weather stickers. We went for a random little walk. Joe wanted to go and see a stadium, so we went for a walk along, and it was really warm. I actually got sunburnt on this day, but we walked past this bridge, and like you could see, like the river had almost, like the tide was out basically, so you could see all the riverbed, and there was a sign in front of it saying that sometimes you can see like sea lions and birds and all different types of like water life basically, but we didn't see anything. I thought I did, but I think it was too far away for what I could see what it was. And then we went to the Victorian Market, which is quite a famous thing to do in Inverness. Again, it's in the city centre. This was just a nice sign to introduce what the Victorian Market is all about, and this is just the entrance to it here. It was just filled with little quirky little own businesses really, which was really good because I actually enjoy local and unique shops rather than like the chain shops you get everywhere else. But there was like jewellers, nice little cafes, souvenir shops, but like homemade souvenirs, which is nice. And then there was this nice big sweet shop, like really old sweets, and we popped in there and we got some sugar mice, which I haven't had in years, so that was nice to have. And then again, this is just some pictures of inside the market. This here is just some bits and pieces that I picked up whilst we were there. So I cut out a bag that I bought some souvenirs in with, and I just thought that was nice. I bought my mum and dad a little Nessie sort of, I can't think what sort of material it was, but it's a little statue thing that you can mould around like in a flower pot or just in general really, and you can make a little Loch Ness monster so it looks like he's dipping out of the water no matter where you put him. So I bought them that. It was only $6.99, so it was cheap enough. And then this is just a receipt because we actually bought a shield that has my boyfriend's family crest on it. So we bought that, and it's been delivered now. We've got it hanging up in our hallway, which is really nice to have something a bit more traditional in our house. And there's some more pictures just of the market. It wasn't very big. You can definitely do it in about 15 minutes. It's not big at all. And then one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to go to Inverness was to go and see Loch Ness, which is obviously the famous lake or loch that holds, apparently, the Loch Ness Monster. So we actually did it by bus. We just walked to the bus station in Inverness and caught the CityLink bus. It was £11 return, which was better than doing a tour or even hiring a car. But the views were spectacular because it's such a clear day. It was just really, really scenic. Like all the colours were bright. So we actually got off at the Urquhart castle, where we paid to go inside and get some lovely views of the Loch Ness. So this is just the views of that's Urquhart castle, and this is just a sign about the Loch Ness and the Great Glen. This is just a receipt for like our tickets almost to get in, and that's just a postcard of the Highlands. And then there's just some pictures of the castle we wandered around. There's just some more pictures. It was just so scenic. Like, I'm so glad we went in June because the days were really long and the weather was nice. I imagine it's a bit of a different experience when it's a bit cold, but I still think it would be just as pretty in the winter. Just some more pictures of us enjoying the scenery. We actually sat down by the loch for a good sort of hour. We had our lunch. We bought some lunch to take away with us. And we just sat there and just people watched and enjoyed the scenery really. We watched the boats come in and out and just played with some of the ducks. We were feeding the ducks grapes. So that's just me on the rocks in the Loch Ness. And these are just some cut up postcards that I bought just with the apparent Loch Ness Monster. I think it's really fun for kids and stuff. In the middle of the water they have like the buoys and they've designed them to look like little monsters, which I think are cute. I think the kids would like that when they go. And then this is just the last sort of pictures of our trip to Loch Ness. And then that is everything. We went, as I said, we weren't there for long. We only went for 3 nights and it took 6 hours each way to get up there and back down. But it was really good. I definitely recommend it to go to for anyone really. The train was lovely. It didn't feel long and you got fed things, so I think it's better than flying. But it was just a nice little trip to do in the summer really, if you don't want to go anywhere too far. But I really enjoyed seeing Loch Ness, and these little stickers were cute that went with them. So yeah, and I've still got this much space, so I do want to go back to Scotland. Obviously it's only almost up the road for us to go, so we will go back, so I hope I can add to this album. But that's all Inverness. So hopefully I won't be too much longer with my next album, which will be the trip to Croatia. I had to think then. Yeah, we went to Croatia in September, so that will be the next trip. Thank you.